Hello everyone and welcome back to some WARNO action as my COVID is finally getting better, so I am just in time to get in back for some WARNO hot action as the WARNO monthly June has come around, and this one is a special one as it's our first tournament run on a WARNO mod, and the mod that we're running it on is the hottest one currently out there. It's the Baltona mod, and we have 4 teams. Uh, and we have 4 teams that will participate, both of 2 players each. And they are currently picking a banning. We will play over 4 different maps as well, 2 from the community there as well. And I'm really looking forward to see how this mod plays in a competitive setting. The first game we were gonna cover is going to be between Yellow Cossack and Biometric Nuke, who is the creator of the mod, and MJ Plans Body. So 2 players who know the mod better versus 2 players who maybe are a bit better in competitive play. It's going to be interesting to see what they come up with here. We already know the first pick, which is going to be the 20th Liberation Armor Division, which is an interesting little division with decently heavy tanks here. 15-15. Some light vehicles as well. Nothing all that big here. Pretty classic artillery as well. Though this thing here is a rapid fire mortar. 33 rate of fire, so can set up stuff quite quickly. Has massive anti-air missiles here that can shoot down the big airships, like these frigate classes, for example. Nearly one-shots this one. And one-shots 50 hit point destroyers. These here have 75 hit points. Though you have some chill planes here as well, with anti-tank missiles, with big bombs. A lot of the weapon types here are still similar to the base game, like for example R-24Rs and so on. So these planes, and then the anti-radiation missiles and so on, those perform pretty standard. But you also have some big rocket helicopters here, some ATGM helicopters, and some napalm rockets here, which is going to be interesting. I would love to see this thing in action, not gonna lie. Big 20mm cannons in the front as well here. So yeah, really a pretty classic division for this mod, as there's not anything super out of the ordinary here. But yeah, that's going to be interesting as well. One of the cool things in this is the wading tanks. They can go through rivers. So they just go below the surface and can come out on the other side again. I believe they can't be shot while it's moving through there, which is interesting, and going to be interesting to see how that looks as well. You have some solid infantry teams here as well, with some heavy armored guys here. 6 men with 10 hit points, RPGs, heavy machine guns, and then some ATGM teams here as well, 20 damage. Anti-tank rifle teams is a pretty classic trope here in this mod as well. So yeah, but nothing super fancy when it comes to these guys either. There are more fancy infantry units here in the game as well. So really, one of the more classic formations. It has some cool features of the mod, like big spaceships, but this one seems to be one of the more normal one as well, with normal guns and missiles. Though 75 hit points, obviously. And then you have, yeah, big air cannons here and so on as well. So it's going to be interesting to see how this all plays out, as they are currently setting up. And yeah, we're gonna get in there. Check out the gauntlet. It shoots a nuke. The gauntlet is which unit exactly? Did I miss it? Is it in this division? I'm not 100% sure with the formations. But I believe it's not in here, right? Yeah, exactly. We have nuke artillery here in this division as well. With 100 each E damage. Like there are some wild units in this. 50-second reload time, 300 second reload time, 50-second aim time, and so on. So 400 points. slow howitzer. It's like stuff like this. This is what is wild in this. You have special infantry units like these. You have massive bombers. You have insanely insanely massive ships as well. Can we filter by? Nope, we can't filter really by this yet. So we have to go here. Like, yeah, some. I believe this is submarines, kinda, or something like that. Not really, obviously, because there's space. But yeah, this one here is their anti-ship with heavy hitting missiles, 20 damage here. So basically torpedoes, and this one seems to be stealth as well. And then you have light cruisers, battle cruisers. So basically, you have Wargame Red Dragon, naval, but included into the base game, and really actually playing a role and being able to move around, and not just sitting out there on the water not doing anything. So basically, Wargame Red Dragon fixed this. And yeah, a lot of other cool features in here coming up. And I'm really looking forward to see when the games are going to start. And we're gonna get the action here, as the teams are currently getting ready. As soon as we have the game up here, I will jump in, obviously. And yeah, we're gonna do it in a round robin format. We have 4 teams, and then the top 2 teams will face up in the final. So yeah, it's going to be round 1 here. Soul Crusher and Dreadle versus Super Aiden. And Ed. So it's gonna be a lot of fun. If you want to check out the mod, you can do so, obviously, and download it. It's easy to activate, nothing special. I don't believe any DLC needed to run it either. Yeah, no DLC needed. And you can easily check it out here. Yeah, that was not what I wanted. But yeah, easy. Check it just out here. It's one of the best mods out there currently for WARNO, for sure. If not the best one. Like, it's my favorite for sure. Yeah. This is a fancy one. A really fancy one. And it's a really cool mod. Own IP. Everything created out of fantasy. If you join the Discord, you can also help designing future units, future factions, like space wizard faction is planned, and so on. Jetpack units, maybe stuff like that. So there are a lot of ideas to move around. We have the latest edition with walkers, which are really cool as well. So where do we got them? I think gotta go back to all. Here we have the Rinva Walker with rocket pods on the top and grenade launchers, and yeah, 2 different kind of rockets here that can do AP damage as well. AP rockets flying around. And then we have, where's the other walker? We have another one, I believe it's in this faction. Yeah, there we go, with a cannon on top, the LM Finfi. And the animations work as well. Like, they are not just hovering around, they are actually using their legs to walk around. Really well done job, which obviously allows things in Warhammer, things in Star Wars, and so on to work as well. So really, this breaks a lot of pioneering ground for WARNO modding, and Biometric Nuke really putting in great effort here to bring us all of this, and showing people from, for example, the Warhammer Heresy No mod how to get stuff done, so that they can get their stuff into action as well. And really, needs more eyes on it, because this is, I believe, where one longevity for single player, for playing with friends and so on, will come from. Stuff like this. The AI is playing decently well with this mod as well, especially on the higher difficulties when they actually can buy the more fancy units a bit easier as well, because they have the money. And yeah, a lot of these units are really cool. And as I said, if you want to help out, bringing in some ideas, and uh, yeah, join the Discord, help them out doing that as well. I will share that in the chat right now as well. I can't actually. I have to figure that out a different way. So yeah, going to be a lot of fun here. And if you have any questions for the mod, let them know in the chat. Biometric Nuke, I think, is going to jump around here in the chat as well, so he can answer and I will answer if I know the answer as well. Whilst, yeah, we are waiting for the games to come up. My favorite faction so far, out of the ones we have the Brightlings, the good guys, literally, and the bad guys, the Brightlings and the Dark Ones, I think it's called. There is a narrative and a storyline about how this whole world came together as well for like a couple hundred years, figured out as well. And it all comes from a Hoi 4 mod that was planned, but actually this one is the first really playable version of any Baltona mod. I believe the Hoi 4 mod is still work in progress, but that's where all the factions and so on come from. And a good couple more factions are already planned, so there is a lot of room for development there as well. And yeah, my favorite factions so far are these guys down here with super crazy artillery. The Yeo Cossack has great rate of fire and hits insanely hard. So outside of that, it's a pretty light one. Like, they have some of these walkers, which are cool as well. They have really cool looking helicopters that can come with rockets. Some rocket and ATGM helicopters here as well. Their ships, I feel like, look the coolest as well, with some destroyers here, with air-to-air missiles and air-to-ground missiles. Pretty simple. Their bombers really look like a further developed, kind of like a mix of Soviet and American bomber design. And yeah, go pretty hard as well. Napalm, obviously, still somewhat of an issue currently in WARNO. Hopefully the Eugen fixes that, then the Napalm here will work better as well. And yeah, some sleek looking plane here as well. Obviously all a bit lower polygon than you're used to from normal WARNO, but outside of that, still looking pretty dope as well. And yeah, Medis launchers, ET rocket launchers here, and so on, all going pretty hard as well. We see big fat artillery. Yeah, the formations here a bit lighter, but with hard-hitting anti-tank good launchers like these, where you have 22 rate of fire, so these guys can shred through tanks as they bring 4 launchers here. You can really go through stuff quite quickly. And they have decent tanks here as well. Like, these are actually some of the harder hitting tanks in this game. A lot of the tanks are pretty light until they get massive, where they then are unwieldy but really hard to kill. Like, you have some bigger guys like these. It's a pretty good one, but then you also have some massive ones. This one with 28 frontal armor, for example. Not the best gun, actually, on this one. But yeah, 28 frontal armor is hard to penetrate. You would most likely need side shots or some big artillery or so to deal with this. Some interesting little rocket launcher here with HE rockets on top. Like, there's a lot of cool ideas here. A couple of which you usually maybe even could consider taking over for introduction in WARNO. Like the river warding or so. Like, there are a couple of really cool features here. Obviously, the game doesn't have to, they don't have to worry as much about polish and stuff, but yeah. It's going to be interesting. And they are starting now, so yeah, there we go. As we gonna restart the game real quick so that we can join. Yeah, yeah. We'll see how Warhammer mod goes with if Game Workshop will let it be or and stuff like that. But I mean, there's other room there as well. Okay, I guess we have to join again now. I have the mods. Wait, deactivated the Baltona mod. Oh, well, that's great. It only activated the map mod. Now we should have the right mods. I still had the other map activated as well. I wasn't quite sure if that would work. Guess I had to deactivate the Somero mod, which which we will be on in game 2. And now we should be able to join. There we go. And yeah, we are on a custom created map here as well. Really cool that this is possible in WARNO as well, and we really got some good ones there. The upcoming Uten maps will be pretty good as well, especially the Omen map that they announced for 1v1. It's, in my eyes, my favorite WARNO map so far. Though, yeah, can't wait to get it into the official patch as well. And yeah, here we got 29th Air Raider Division and the 18th Telco Marine Division. I like both of those as well. Some fancy infantry, some big space airships. Ketsu jumper leaders, for example, here coming around with good rifles going in there. And then on the other side, we have the 20th Liberation Armor Division that we had to look on earlier, and the 29th Chenka Judgment Division. And I'm not quite sure what that one will have inside. Kim Lozo AA, VK18 going around. Ketsu jumper as the Dakon Mark II ATGMs. Shock infantry in a fast little helicopter. And they have heavy troop transport, so they can load more ground units. They have a 20mm autocannon on these as well. So this one can load multiple units at once. Well, it's back here. We have a little light truck here, a landing vehicle that can go amphibious as well. Really hard hitting. Yeah, the heavy AT, the anti-tank missiles are insane. This is a 7-man squad with a 30-pen missile with 5,000 meter range and fantastic accuracy. These guys are pretty nutty. You need to be really careful around them, otherwise they blow up your stuff up quite quickly. On the other side, napalm helicopter coming in, artillery piece, the first couple of tanks. Those are pretty standard ones. Extra era effect here. I'm not quite sure how era works in this one, as I don't think it gives extra hit points. I think it's slightly modified. But yeah, I'm not sure how exactly it works currently. If it if it works like a shield against heat weapons, or how exactly it works. There have been a couple of changes in different mods. I actually will have to check in with Biometric Nuke how they changed it in this one. We have some ATGM launcher vehicle here going in the front. Kind of old World War I Soviet kind of style look, like, or between war Soviet style look on a lot of these units, and then with like a bit more modern Soviet, like this kind of looks like a spacey version of a BMP-3. We have some AA bunkers as well. So the bunker system, yeah, they're only deployable pretty far in the back. So for the current frontline game mode, not all that impactful, but a cool system as well. that there are minefields and so on as well. Yeah, heavy AT bunkers here around 2 with 4,000 meter range. So if anything tries to go around here, this can be pretty helpful. AT mines can be deployed a bit further forward. And yeah, means that if the enemy runs around here, they will eat damage from the mines. They kind of work like a unit, and that they hit anything close by with hits, and yeah, they can't move. Have really good stealth, so that yeah, if enemy gets close by, they get blown up when they drive directly over them. So yeah, those are cool features here as well. Minefield being deployed. That's the other side. More of the helicopters, marine snipers coming around here. 2 sniper rifles for these guys. And then behind that, more of those heavy anti-tank launcher units. That will be really, really scary. First tank with a flamethrower. 1,000 meter range flamethrower tank here. Coming around as well. Little amphibious vehicle. Let's both sides here continue their deployment. Olin Kata. 1515 tank. Down here in the south. Coming around as well. I wonder if we will have any of the ships from the start. No gigantic unit deployed so far yet. It's down south. More of the helicopters. The forward deploy helicopter opener here for sure. Gonna be pretty strong. Other side, we'll have to push into it with a bit more slow approach to this. Okay. Some auger stuff. We have Hellfire missiles and so on around as well. ATGM vehicles moving up front. Big 20mm. It's only soft target guns on these. Snipers. Yeah. Seems like both teams are pretty ready, though I don't see all that many units here just yet, so I would expect some air forces here. As I don't believe this is quite at the 3,005 point mark here. Other side seems to be a bit closer with a decent amount of tanks and so on. So everything is going fine. Recon coming around in the south. And everything seems to be set up. Uh, these look pretty interesting as well. Yeah, this is one of the heavier little vehicles. Super heavy front and side armor for an AA piece. It has decent range against helicopters especially. Though long aim time, no radar on this, so... And the AA gun itself is not looking all that strong, but it can be pretty good against ground units as well. So this is more of a assault AA piece. Kind of like a old flak. It has some extra 20mm turret in the rear here as well. So this one will be interesting to see how that performs. If that can be pretty helpful, I would say it should be pretty helpful against the helicopters, though it's slow AF, 20 and 30 kmh. Really, a lot of these units moving a bit slower than usual. And here we go. Game is starting, and I would expect an airship here from the left side. Wonder if we will see one from the right side as well. We have AA bunkers decently all over the place here as well. Biometric nuke with a decent amount of forces. Yellow Cossack brings around the AA, brings around some of the faster tanks here. And the helicopters are coming in. Gun-based AA piece coming in to try to shoot down some of the heavier helicopters. Not quite able to do it. It's a pretty weak plane. Trying to run these down. This one actually has AA missiles, ATGMs and AA. So pretty scary for this little plane that only has 5 hit points. With a Stinger post that does 5 damage. Well, ATGM teams here are in position. Little tanks have to be careful. Recon helicopter next target, and the autocannons here go through the frontal units quite quickly. AA bunkers help out against the helicopters, stopping them from running too deep. Better plane here coming in. That one can take out the ATGM helicopter quite easily. Now we have the first light cruiser. Ooh, light cruiser takes out both airplanes here immediately. Takes some damage there. So that means if it gets pulled back, its repair time will be pretty long. But yeah, it does get the damage there against the planes. Helicopters on the push in the north. We see infantry trying to assault here. Though these guys are in good positions. AA plane coming around here. Kind of a fancy P-38. Running into it. Nearly into the range of the AA units there. That's the light cruiser. Keeps moving around. Recon pushing forward. Transport helicopters being called back. To be sold. It's new units here. New infantry units being brought forward. Left side for sure with the infantry advantage. Right side will need to use more of their mechanized approach. Gets good artillery here. Onto the northern ATGM position. We have the frigate class now coming around. Firing onto some helicopters. Firing onto the enemy light cruiser. Sparrow missiles. Oh! Not successful, and it actually gets shut down already. I'm a bit surprised by what exactly was able to take out that frigate so early. That's a big kill there. Light cruiser damage here. Wait. 350 HE? Okay, these AM9Ms, I'm not sure if they're supposed to be that way. If so, they are pretty insane. I believe that might be the killer there. Because that HE value seems a bit high. The Russia, though, now gets routed. Next plane kind of sacrifices there. Whilst infantry tries to go into the south, but the defensive infantry and helicopters here bit too strong. New units need to be brought up to deal with that. Kiso troopers moving around. Command TBL, little buggy here. Command unit moving in whilst we have some beautiful little helicopter flanking here from the big gunship. Trying to go around the side. Using their massive turrets to light up the light vehicles on the open field. Ooh, AA being brought in to try to deal with that. AA planes. The big AA piece here. That one. A low rate of fire, as you can see here. But its damage is pretty massive and it can deal with the first one here pretty easily. One on the ground should be dealt with as well. The infantry got out there though. So that now has to be the next target. Well, it's the AT minefield here. Oh no, it's actually anti-personnel minefields. Oh, the Katsos get shredded. Running into the minefield. Oh no. Svarti gets through the minefield, but as it is taken out, but his infantry there nearly gets completely shredded. They have law launchers, so the Javi here have to be careful. They can't take that fight. They need to wait for helicopter or infantry to help out. +6 situation on the front line though. Because we have a resupply of the ATGM position in the south here. Minefield doing its job there. Holding Kata. Doing the engagement, taking out the supply truck. 15 frontal armor means that the 18 damage ATGMs here don't do all that much to them. Next supply truck gets taken out. Oh, showing side armor here now though. Lacking a bit of recon here. Only in the middle, an ATGM recon unit. The units in the north get taken out. The other one still around though. HE bomber moving forward. Will take out the infantry here in the south. Reducing them to 1 hit point. Holding Kata here on the ground. Slowly moving up. Whilst both sides currently in a pretty stale position, though blue with the early rush really got the better of the map, and the red team, in my eyes, currently lacking a bit of recon to actually find a position. Oh, and the ATGM finds the artillery here behind enemy lines. Yeah, Minefield really did a fantastic job there. Well, it's Komitar. Logis moving around. Iglas. Kimlozo here trying to deal with the helicopter, which is reducing a lot of the other units. AA now able to fire again. Gets the helicopter killed. But the infantry here, the marine infantry in the buildings, they are holding out really well. And the infantry here pushing over the open. Has a lot of MGs. Has a decent amount of firepower. AA pieces here helping out a bit as well. And the CV needs to get in here. 2 minutes 46. They need to at least capture this point here to get a bit more time. Then maybe overrun the right side here. A lot of cheap AA coming around. Whilst the other side is getting pushed pretty hard right now. We have another of the big flamer tanks here rolling in onto the battlefield. Decent amount of planes, including some LGB bombers here. Getting shut down, but pushing in nicely. And I believe killing off the CV, so this zone now won't get captured that quickly, and this is a problem. Only 2.5 minutes left. We have another one of the frigates here coming around. Sparrow moving in. Cena AA piece pushing it back. The Chaco AA pieces here from the ground getting it pushed out immediately as well. So this one won't make the difference either. And the kill of the CV in the south, I think, seals the deal here. Blue side, with the big marine rush, did do the job. Ketsu jumpers moving around, the helicopters holding the ground here nicely as well. The AA of the red team here, of the bad guys, not quite long enough. They take out the infantry here south now. The commander could move in, but even with a +4, it would not take all that long right now, so they would need to take more ground here right now, really quickly, to actually make a difference, and there is still a decent amount of units here. More heavy flamer units coming in. Some light tanks here, moving into the battlefield as well. They are actually pretty decent for some lighter divisions here for ground units. 19 pen, 13 frontal armor. That's not all that bad. In the north, light vehicle here, getting bullied by the heavy AA unit. That slowly starts to deal with it. But due to it being stressed out, and it's actually having pretty low ground damage, doesn't seem to do the job that well. HE bomber continues flying around. Not quite able to get the kill either. Well, it's the leaders. Push on forward here. Recon units. Get the damage in. Get the stun. Light tank here. Slowly pushing forward, but unfortunately, red team springing in good units now. Napalm rocket helicopters here. I wanted to see them. They set the whole setting here in place, killing off a good amount of infantry. But they struggle to find the job here in time, and blue team does take the W here in round 1. Really strong KD here from MJ player. Yeah, biometric nuke and the yellow Cossack not quite quick enough there with the early game, and the Rathtio here doing a fantastic job. Though I will have to check in with biometric if the HE damage there is supposed to be that high, or if not, if we maybe have to limit the ratio as well, as that seems to be a bit high for the HD damage that ship has 25 missiles that can one-shot everything. But yeah, outside of that, the early game already went really well here. For the blue team, the old helicopter openers, really, really strong. Kind of shows why Eugen limits forward deploy helicopters a bit more. But yeah, this game obviously has a lot of over-the-top units, so I think there can be a work around that as well. They just couldn't quite set up the combine arms push that they needed here. And yeah, in the end, biometric nuke did end up doing pretty decently, but the other Cossack really struggling up in the north against MJ player. And yeah, job well done here by Sparty and MJ player. Let's see if we can jump into the second game as well. Yes, there we go. Let's have a look into that. Yes. And yeah, here we go. Ooh, is it the same? Oh yeah, it's actually the same teams here for Super Aiden and Delport that we saw. Oh. So here we go, game number 2. Same map. Super Eden and Deadbolt versus Dread Turtle and Soul Crusher. And Soul Crusher and Dead Turtle playing a good bit more defensive here in the rear and playing through the north. Maybe setting up something bigger. Though, yeah, they should take Golf Zone as well. As the Dread Turtle setting up the push in the north. Soul Crusher here playing really defensive as the Marines take all the spots here. And we have little trucks here moving forward in the north. Commandos coming in. Napalm plane going down, and the push here in the north slowly moving in. This one is one of my favorite tanks. Hard hitting with a coil gun. And yeah, 4,000 meter range. Has 18 frontal armor as well. Slowly pushing in there into the northern zone. They kind of need to push through here. This is a bit too defensive of a setup, especially leaving out Gulf Zone as well. Like, if you play through the north, that is fine. And Soul Crusher seems to be the one in charge of air here. Using the really fantastic AA piece here in the Masoi as well. With two big rotary cannons. That has a really long range against everything as well. And gets the A plane there. Napalm bomber coming around here, though Napalm currently bugged against buildings, so yeah, unfortunately not as effective as it should be. We have more shock units pushing in here through the north at the same time. Whilst the Charos move around here on the ground. Bushmaster cannons on these guys. And decent ATGMs. Trying to find kills. The Ketso jumpers really doing fantastically there on the ground. That's a lot of the helicopters now moving to the rear. ATGM getting the kill there. Line on Model X. Slowly moving forward. Like, both from the looks and the general performance, this one is one of my favorites. Kind of looking a bit British with the turret. Like, has some Centurion meets Chieftain vibes. And I like the color. I like the performance of this. This one can do a lot of harm here. Well, yeah, blue side did take a lot of ground, but red side doesn't really contest them there anyway, so that is fine. Dread Turtle and Soul Crusher going for the push through the north, and there the blue side is pretty weak. Napalm Bomber coming around again. As I said, currently not a big fan of Napalm in WARNO, so yeah, unfortunately not an issue of the mod itself, more of a issue at Eugen's end that they have to figure out how Napalm can be made functional in the game without being busted. And yeah, they unfortunately haven't quite figured that out. Currently, it's pretty useless. And in the past, with a couple of attempts, they had it on the busted end. Oh my goodness, the Ketso jumpers! They just shredded that unit there. The shock units here, they, I believe, are pretty strong as well. Yeah, they can deal good damage back as well, but the CV unit there just got absolutely minced. Ketso jumpers here with the law in the north. They aren't the best against vehicles, but the anti-infantry damage output here is pretty insane. Bushmasters, though, helping out, putting them down. Now they're stressed out. Now their combat efficiency has been reduced, and they can move forward now. Radar-guided AA piece here, helping out against the helicopters. Though they get the Bushmaster light vehicle first. Autocan vehicle pushed back, and yeah, as it has good range, but not the highest DPS, the helicopters are able to make it out again. +2 currently for the blue team. Well, yeah, we have a good couple more units here coming around. This kind of looks like a weirdly upscaled AMX-13. It's a really light vehicle with a good gun. And yeah, going pretty hard as well. The Cossacks coming around here. Defensive Cossack positioning is going on. I'm not sure Red Team actually recognized that Gulf exists. Situation would be a lot better if they would have that zone. Would only be down against the +1. And obviously, yeah, now they're sending them in. Okay, realizing that this Gulf zone actually is a thing. We'll try to capture that now. Blue team busy trying to set up a defensive in the north. And then a capture of Charlie would swing things around in red side's favor, actually. So their push here through the north is going to be interesting. I would love to see some heavy artillery, as we had a look on earlier. Ooh! One of my favorite units. Aerial bombardment here coming in. Just ripping apart the units moving through here. Yeah, one of my favorite units in the game here, firing. These take a minute or so to actually come down anywhere. Maybe even a bit longer. But wherever they land, they're kind of like an on-map, off-map artillery for Steel Division players. And yeah, they shred. The units that were in there just got completely ripped. And there's 2 of them now. This one going for the town. I'm not quite sure where the other one will land. We will see when it comes down. As they can just clear out. So the supply cost is pretty low. Reload time is actually pretty low as well. That maybe is something that could use rebalance as well. But yeah, the bombardment here landing now close to these guys. And will do decent damage there as well. The Lions maybe should push forward again. Though they survived this one. Not so sure about the position over here. As that one will get under a lot of fire now. 2 salvos coming in for this area now. And there we go. Hitting really hard. Not quite getting the kills. Ketso jumpers pushing in again. But that was the first salvo. I think the second salvo still has to come in. So we'll see when that comes around. They don't seem to be able to reload this thing right now. Okay, now it gets reloaded. And yeah, the next salvo did land, did get the kills. So the red team now will have to be using their mobile forces to actually move around. Otherwise, they will eat a lot of this damage. This artillery really doing its job. The Missouri, fantastic anti-helicopter with its insane range, so it's a really good unit against the matchup. You see when they start, but yeah, as they fly too high for the map, as you can see, we have a look at them. They are going real high. I can't even follow them anymore. Beautiful. Because I can't... Okay, there we go. There they go. Into the space. And then they will run down somewhere. It's interesting that that this is the game is even able to model them. Because obviously they kind of have to model them outside of the space hex as well. For them to come down again. But yeah, it's interesting. Recon helicopter here, spotting things out. That artillery really strong. Fingal bomber coming around again. Trying to get the damage done. Line on Model X. Moving around. As red team really needs to start to be more mobile than this against this kind of playstyle from the blue team. They seem to have the better units when in direct fights. The Masioi are fantastic for theirs, but if they just stay stationary, the artillery is not doing a similar job here. So they will just kind of eat it and just get bombed into smithereens. Another one goes down. The ATGM units here doing the job. We have a destroyer airship coming in now. Moving around. But there is a on the other side. Astro Killers will push this destroyer out. 100 hit points on it. Fires away on enemy helicopters here. On enemy ground units, but not really able to do much damage. And it will be pushed out here relatively soon. Shock infantry coming in here. Well, it's, yeah, the next aerial bombardment, and red team really would have needed to be a lot more mobile. They are lacking a good amount of recon here though, so they don't quite know what's going on here. The basics of WARNO gameplay here still come in. If you don't have recon, you are pretty blind in this mod as well. So yeah, not having any recon in front of this means that using your mobile units to actually get anywhere is pretty tough, and yeah, the red team here not quite set up to deal with this. The K2 Charo getting destroyed here up north. Ketso Jumper is still sitting around as the blue team just keeps on using the LSMT artillery piece here. It is really expensive, but once you got 2 of them, you are in a pretty strong position. And yeah, especially when red team is not taking it serious. Or not really playing against it, actually. Like, obviously, they recognize what's happening, but they don't seem to be able to find any play around this. So, time and again, the bombardment is coming in. The reload time for sure on this should go up. We have strong artillery from the other side as well. These guns are pretty gnarly too, from my experience. Though I like the ones in the Cossack formation even more. Like these guys have a pretty high rate of fire, but they are pretty inaccurate. But you have some really accurate gun in the other formation that the red team has. So like it's not like red team doesn't have any comparable things. So here comes the Ratio with its rocket launchers. And yeah, the HE damage on these AM9Ms times 10 is a bit over the top. Like even if it would be times 10, it should be less than this. It would be 50 damage, not 350. So the 350 there seems a bit high. It's a really cool design with the rocket launchers on this and so on, but I feel like the air-to-air missiles are currently a bit over situated. The rockets are pretty inaccurate, but if they hit, they do pretty well. So this is pretty cool as well. An artillery ship here. Light rocket cruiser. With the napalm rockets here. Flying around. But blue team now about to push in the north again. Get back into the lead. Rockets flying out again. Against the northern position here. As the blue team infantry is setting up again. And they dealt with all the AA here. These guys coming in again. Just smacking the whole position here once more. But the other team's artillery now finally gets into the play as well. They are pretty low range, but yeah. The one-shot capabilities, that's a bit silly. I think we will have to limit the Ratio for round 2. Well, it's called AM9 times 10. So, yeah, it should be 50 damage. Because it's 5 damage per AM9 and not 350. With 50 being half damage or something similar to a lot of these formations, so would still be pretty strong. But like a lot of the heavier missiles here have 25 or 50 damage as well. But yeah, 350 is, even for this system, a bit game breaking. So yeah, we will limit them the ratio in game 2. AR here. Coming around with normal AM9Ms there. 5 damage per missile. That's the AA guns here doing their job. Shredding the little helicopters. And the little gunships here. Hiding over this completely burning town. This is kinda insane. Blue team still hasn't been able to get in and... oh no! Yeah. Finding the damage, finding the kills here. No nuke artillery or anything on the other side. Like, counter artillery could have killed these guys as well. They haven't moved all that much around. But nothing like this has happened. Gunship. And Taka ATGM here holding the ground, and red team currently getting pretty shredded. Yes. We see the gunship taking out the radar AA. Blue team now has a +3 again. Destroyer tries to go deep, but gets shut down here as well. As K2 Charo gets the kill here. Radar AA trying to take out Steph. Whilst we see the Marine Falcon helicopters coming around here. This is a cute little helicopter. Like, the helicopter designs in this mod are mostly pretty dope as well. Little Hellfire missiles, these little chain guns. Really, modern helicopters pushed to the extreme. Like the bigger gunships here as well. Double rotor, big cannon in the front. This is how we want to have our sci-fi helicopters. Little landing skids here in the rear. Really solid chain gun as well. 6 damage, 20mm, good rate of fire gun. Like, that is pretty good, though. This rain here of doom is currently doing it. These are the guys I was talking about. Like, they have good rate of fire, and if you push them, you can get great saturation out of them as well. They are pretty affordable. Like, these are fantastic artillery pieces, but they come in too late. They are too far behind the rear line, and yeah, blue team currently is doing it here. Getting the push through. We have decent marine positions here in the south as well, and I don't quite see how red team is able to be able to do anything here at this stage. They let the 800 point investment here go unpunished by playing pretty defensive, investing in a couple of units that, based on, yeah, like Napalm and so on, which currently just don't perform in WARNO, didn't quite do it, and then didn't play aggressively and mobile enough for what their formations are actually supposed to do, especially this faction, especially the Cossack division, is supposed to be a really agile one, and just really using the open spaces here with their mobile tanks, with that insane anti-helicopter AA and so on, and just take spaces. But if you don't do that, then the heavy artillery there on the other side will just punish you. Cute little AA piece coming around, getting hit pretty hard as well though. Get a Masoi here, Shredding gunships. Like, this thing is just an absolute dome that you can move around freely with your tanks around. Like, all helicopters just get annihilated if they fly into a 5 kilometer range and get spotted. So, these do great, but they weren't used in the form they were supposed to be, especially against the formation that needs helicopters to actually deal with armor. They would have gotten pretty hard, but everything did stay pretty static here, and this did finish the game here for the red side. VTOL helicopters would be nice. Artillery does come around. Helicopter is moving forward. Maciois dealing with the Hux Ostello. And the little AA plane here coming around, getting shut down. Oh, mass plane spam here trying to come in. Not quite able to do it. 5 hit point planes. Pretty affordable. Though not quite able to do it. As now they drop the bombs here on the little tank over here. But as this one is super heavily armored, the damage is pretty limited as well, and we see the last couple of minutes ticking by here. Masioi pushing forward. Takar getting damaged, getting pushed back. And the Stella over here getting minced as well. Like, these things are great. These things are what enables the stack to a good part. So I would like to see another game of this faction. Playing around the Maciois and the good tanks they got. Like these light tanks here. For war points, 18 damage, that's pretty immense. Just pushing around, but this is not what we got here. The Cossacks not playing like the mobile modern cavalry, the mechanized cavalry that they're supposed to be. And that kind of limited the success here of the red team from the start. Like, they gave up the whole south, and they didn't play hard enough for the north as a consequence, and that led to the constant bleed here and the +3 situation that we got here into in the end. The flamer tank will get overwhelmed here most likely. G-bomber flying around, but yeah, now even the final spot here gets demolished in the last second. And GG is called. So blue team does win here as well. Once more the Marines get through. And yeah, that finishes round 1. So if we have a look here. Let's start the group stage. That's MJ Plan's body winning over here. Super Eden and that Pulp winning versus Soul Crusher and Dreadhardle. Yeah, this is just did the damage here. Super Eden's artillery crashing through it. And yeah. And we will have the 2 winning teams in round 1 against each other. and Soul Crusher and Red Turtle and Yellow Cossack and Biometric Nuke on the other side, so... And we will have another map from... another map, a custom map being played on Somero this time around. So this will be interesting. And yeah, we will ban that light cruiser because yeah, the Rathio just one-shotting enemy ships is not what is supposed to happen. Like, it's not supposed to be an anti-ship ship. It's supposed to be its rocket launcher thing and then having some self-defensive one, and the stats are a bit out of hand there. As it is not that expensive. Like 450 points. We have really big ships like the battle cruisers and so on. Like the Rathio is good, but yeah, these, for example, the battleships here, those are the big ships. They're maybe a weapon that can one-shot other ships, would be fine, but those don't even quite do that. So, like they have mostly guns here. So, yeah, if they don't do it, then nobody should. And so the LC here is a bit out of hand. The Silicos with their like being anti-ship units here, anti-airship, only dealing 25 damage per missile, for example, shows you that yeah, the 350 here is a bit silly. And yeah, we're gonna go into a short break. Gonna jump up with the others.
Hey, how long I got?
Chat GPT.
I'm never trusting
rebelling
that again.
shit.
Oh, I swear, every time
So, I got
So yeah, the Raffio has to be limited. I will leave it with the artillery in, because I think other artillery is similarly strong, so I don't think limiting that 400 point artillery that is not much stronger than a nuke or anything. Like, yes, it has a cheap, pretty low reload time, but it has a really long time to land on target and so on as well, so you can play around it. So, yeah, the LSMT, it's strong, and it could use some nerfs, but that's for another time here. I think we're going to leave that in so far. But yeah, the Raftio will get taken out here, out of round 2. And then we're going to go into a short break and come around. I don't think there is another unit with that kind of weapon. I don't think there is another unit that has 350 HE damage. So... like, yeah, all the others seem to be pretty normal. This one even seems a bit low. They're like only 0.36 damage per missile. Though it fires them pretty quickly, so... could make sense, but... yeah, all the others here with... like, yeah, this one, for example, AM7M double. Like, that dealing 12 damage, that is fine. Like, this is a... anti-ship ship. So... this... doing decent anti-air damage here, that is fine, but... yeah, the 350 seems to be out of hand. Even if it would be 50, I would be against it, I think. As this thing already has enough other things going for it. Like, these should be more normal Sparrows, most likely. Or double. But, yeah, in its current form, they're a bit busted. MRAMs here coming around as well. Like, there are good missiles here, but nothing on the same way in here. So, it's a bit out of scope, for sure. Like, there's a lot of cool recon units here as well. scouts and so on. But yeah, we're gonna go on to a short break, and then we're gonna be back with round number 2. currently waiting to be able to see the next game, so it seems like they might have forgotten to launch one of them with spectator on. Would be a bit of a shame. Okay. We'll have to check the game sizes right now. Okay, so we are on to game number 2 here, on Samaro. And MJ player and Spotty stay with their setup, whilst we have Baron Division and the 24th Mantlo Armor Division on the other side. Samaro is a map with a big river in the middle, so units that can cross the river can be extra good. And really helpful. Whilst, yeah, everything flying obviously can be quite nice as well. There are a good amount of river crossings on this map. And obviously the center is having parts on both sides of the river. So the most fought over point is split in half here. Left side has the better buildings here, but you still have some good ones on the right side as well. And we have Katsu jumpers coming around. We have some good stuff here in north as well. ATGM helicopters all pushing the front line. Good AA helicopter here in the rear. So helicopter start will be set up once more here for the right side. We have to change the whole setup here up on top. As we have Super Eden and Dead Pulp. On the left side here. Coming around with a decent amount of helicopters as well. Some of these fast little AA... Oh no, they're actually not that fast. Oh no, those are not the ones that I thought they are. Okay, those are pretty slow half-track AA pieces. Decent at the helicopter range as well though, 3000 meters. And then yeah, some of these cute little helicopters here up top. This one is an observer helicopter that can call in off-map artillery. Orbital strikes. Okay. It's gonna be interesting to see how that one plays out. And yeah, here we go. Masioi in key unit. Key unit in this matchup. So looking forward to see how that one will play out here. As both sides are getting ready. And yeah, Super Eden. Dead Pulp versus Sparty and MJ Blair. Gonna be an interesting one here. The winners of the first round fighting against each other. The FT4As coming up. I have a good amount of little vehicles here coming in and out. Telco Marines, Light Marines with heavy anti-tank. These are still some of the best units in the game for sure. In my eyes, for 90 points, getting such great AT power is really strong. Though, using the full range of this actually not that easy, because 5,000 meter range of line of sight is not something that you get easily in WARNO, but even without being able to fire it on the super long range all the time, they still do pretty fantastically. And yeah, helicopters here in good numbers as well, but 3-4 Masois can really cover the whole front line against helicopters. So the helicopter play will have to be used well. This also, I believe, yeah, currently not a radar AA. Maybe should get radar. Or a radar version and a non-radar version, with the non-radar version maybe a bit limited in more limited in range. But yeah, currently you can't deal with it with seed. And that is a problem, I think, for everybody with helicopters here. Getting through that unit will be nice. Yeah, we have the Telecomarines, the Air Raiders here. First Baron Division and the Man-Low Armored Division. 24 of Man-Low Armor. Which is the one here in the south with the half-track units. There are a good amount of seaplanes around. So I'm not quite sure how many radar AA there actually are. Because a lot of the gun ones... Okay, no, this actually has radar. Yeah. Is a weaker AA piece though. This is the one we saw before as well. Like, this one is not bad either. 3,700 meter range against helicopter is still great. But it's a lot weaker than the Masioi for only being slightly cheaper. Especially as, yeah, it still has high aim time, which is usually one of the advantages of radar AA in base game WARNO. Maybe something that could be changed as well. I like that they did a radar antenna that actually can rotate as well. It really is. It's cool to see what is all moddable already in WARNO. Like that you can have moving parts and so on easily as well. It's not just a copy of a WARNO model, but using the same system, but fully new textures. These little guys here, and one of these APCEs or IFVs with ATGM launcher here on the side, and the double Bushmaster cannon. It's not amphibious, so it can't just cross the river here, as both sides are getting ready for the second one. And yeah, we have the pinks towards the middle. Yeah, we got a couple of infantry here rushing in, actually trying to take a lot of ground on the other side. Not so certain this will work out that well this time around. This is a pretty fast AA launcher. It looks kind of similar to the British unit from MNet, with a Mistral launcher in the rear though. Double Mistral launcher here, dealing 10 HE damage, so that is pretty strong as well. Whilst we have a good amount of heavy vehicles over here as well. Oh my goodness. This thing looks pretty funky as well. Carries the AA team. Big wrench in the front. Is this thing amphibious? No. These guys are though, right? Yes. So these could cross the river as well. They will go towards Echo for now. And yeah, if this area can be captured easily, then red side has a problem. I would expect a good amount of planes here coming out from red side to stop the helicopter push. Like, there is for sure play around that. And there is not that much AA here to cover the helicopters on the right side, so using a decent amount of planes, shutting down at least the most important ones, can get you a decent setup here. The investment here is pretty high, 70 points plus 60 points, so 130 point investment here into the combination. Getting that killed off would get you decently far. Recon moving around here. Shock ATPR. This was, yeah, these guys are some of my favorite units as well. These are 70 damage long-range anti-tank rifles. Anti-tank plasma rifles. So they hit really hard. And it can be used against ground units, I believe, as well, with their 1 HE. Though just, yeah, normal sniper rifle there, though still a good one. But against light vehicles, these guys go insanely hard. Like, this is one of my favorite units, the Shock Fork, out of the infantry ones. 70 points, 10 hit points. Submachine guns here, not all that great, but though decent as well. But the anti-tank rifle goes really hard there. Has not that high of a suppression actually, so balanced better than some other stuff in the base game in that regard, but can smash through enemy infantry quite nicely and through vehicles, light vehicles especially. The launchers are pretty good as well, and there we go. Units start moving. Echo will be captured soon. Helicopters here coming in on the other side. Flying forward. No planes coming in from the other side. Okay, that's a mistake. Against the helicopter formation, against the air raiders and the telecom marines. Like, those are the air raiders here with the mass helicopters. Like, not starting with fighters is a weird choice. Giving these helicopters so much room. The Bushmasters and so on should do decently, though the cannon on these guys obviously is not half bad either, so yeah, we'll see. This thing can't shoot helicopters, so it has a problem. The Masioi doesn't have line of sight right now. That's an issue, and oh no. Yeah, these guys see a lot. Shred through the south here. Yeah, you need something against these helicopters. This one over here got routed. At least doesn't take hold of the other bank of the river. And the ones over here gets hit pretty decently as well, but not killed before it can kill the enemy. Orbital bombardment being called in. Does a good job. But the JFs here, yeah, going unpunished. Masioi over here, now getting involved. Will be able to do the job against this one. Second one aimed at. Second one under fire. But getting the crossing secured here is already pretty big. Infantry here needs to unload.